Hi, and welcome to another episode of In My Opinion, IMO. I am your moderator today, Dana Swinney Murphy, and I'm here with Gina Beavers and Alicia Cosby. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get started talking about Rielle Hunter. So, Rielle Hunter is coming out with a book, I believe next Tuesday, about her relationship with John Edwards. And she's getting a whole lot of publicity for it, which she's getting a whole lot of publicity for the book because she's saying a lot of bad things about John Edwards' wife, and she's exposing the relationship and a lot of the details of the relationship. What do you guys think about what's about? Have you heard anything, first of all, about the book? Because it's not out yet, but I know some things have been leaked. So,
I've heard some things about the book, and Rielle Hunter is not one of. I don't think that she's a trustworthy person. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I'm thinking that anybody who feeds off of,
publicity?
There's a curiosity there right in and of itself. This is a woman who wrecked a home, who had a child. Now, don't let me get on John Edwards because he's a whole nother case, head case. But, for her to malign Elizabeth Edwards after her death is that's really not, it's not appropriate.
I think what's interesting is I think we're likely to buy a book when, say, if his wife was still here and she wrote a book. Like, that would be an interesting book to read.
Exactly.
Perspective.
Right, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, people are going to buy Rielle's book out of curiosity.
They will.
But I just think it's interesting because typically we like, the heroine in the story. We like to hear,
and we'll never get that story because she was a very courageous woman. I'm not saying she was perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but she was very courageous. She was strong. She dealt with a lot. She dealt with him. She dealt with his philandering. She dealt with
while she was sick,
and having to make sure that her children were protected in some way or another. So Rielle Hunter, she's just a non-entity in my mind, and I think it's unfortunate that that's the kind of that the news cycle would include her in such a capacity that she would be on ABC doing these interviews and calling, Elizabeth Edwards a witch on wheels, or that she was a nag, or I can't remember a couple other things. What do you expect her to be?
Yeah,
you're the mistress.
Yeah,
who. Come on.
Yeah, she's not going to say she was this
she was
I'm this
awesome
horrible person.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think more like on a character thing. It's like everyone is free to express their opinion, their perspective, even if you're in that, she was in that type of relationship. But it just looks really shady to
she's making money.
She's making a lot of money.
After, Elizabeth Edwards has now passed away from illness, and it really kind of crosses a line in a way for what's respectable. Feel free to have your opinion. Some things maybe keep to yourself because you're just not. It's not going to look. It's just not going to be a good look for you.
No.
To be maligning a woman who, by most people's imagination, was a very heroic woman.
Right.
And like you said, the heroine, to go and talk about her in such negative ways. It's just not. It doesn't look really good for her. So maybe the news will keep it going just because there is a segment of our population that does thrive off of that kind of drama, but it's just not very pretty.
And also I think about him because I don't know, but it seems as though they're still in a relationship. So
they're still raising the child.
How would he, why didn't he step in?
Right.
Well, maybe he did. We don't really know.
Yeah, that's very true. Maybe he did.
Well, it's really that
It
headstrong.
doesn't seem that way.
He was probably too worried about going to prison.
Oh, that's true.
He wasn't concerned too much. He was trying to stay out of prison, which he did. The campaign, the mishandling of campaign money, it was dismissed. It was a mistrial, which is pretty remarkable because he was looking at a lot of years in prison, a lot, and a huge fine.
Right.
But he got out of it. So I think maybe now, I think now he is known for who he is. She's not going to help.
Yeah.
I feel very sorry for his kids that he had with Elizabeth. And I feel bad for the kid he's got with
his daughter with her because she
Lisa
has to grow up with that. Yeah. So enough about Rielle Hunter. I think we've given her more than enough time. On a more serious topic, Syria. The killings are happening more often, coming daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really sad situation.
It is. It's horrible.
Have you been
Yeah, actually the UN monitors are no longer doing their jobs. They're staying there, but they're not doing their jobs. They're not monitoring the violence because they're feeling unsafe. You know, usually they have a modicum of safety when they perform these duties, these international duties, but they feel unsafe, so they're suspending their activities because the regime is just, it's brutal. And their children have been used as human shields, point blank killings from what is said. And, you know, a lot of people are, Mitt Romney says, oh, I would give the insurgents arms. Come on, Mitt. Come on. Really? Would you? Would you? This is kind of like, that's a really bold statement to make if you're not sitting in the office. That's a very bold statement to make, and I think it's very. I
think with an election year coming up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Saying something that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like, say it for real, man. Don't pretend.
Right.
If you're going to go, yeah. If you get selected, are you going to give weapons to the insurgents in Syria? Should we even be involved in Syria? Because Russia's deeply involved in Syria.
Question, like, should the U.S. government get involved? What should the stand? What stand should we take?
Yeah.
You know.
I don't. I can't say. I don't. You know. I think the bloodshed is horrifying. I think that, you know, Egypt was, they were able to maintain, they were able to keep it within their own borders. They were able to, you know, to do their thing. Syria, they can't get him to step down. And that's really the only solution to Syria, to get Bashar al-Assad to step down.
Who would replace him?
I don't know.
Nothing in a vacuum ever in life. So.
And then you've got Putin in the mix, and he's doing some crazy mess in Russia with them. He's supplying arms. Yeah, so it's a really volatile situation. But I don't think that I don't know yet personally if the United States should put the reach into Syria at all.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out from our government's standpoint. We will be back. We're going to come back with something a little bit lighter for you, so we'll be back shortly. In California, parents are not happy with the schools performing well. You know, some of the schools aren't performing well, public schools. And parents are taking over the schools. So basically what they're doing is there's going to be legislation possibly where parents are going to be able to vote out teachers, superintendents, principals that aren't performing well in schools.
Right.
I also know that there's a rise, even locally, there's a rise in homeschooling.
Yes.
For people who aren't happy with, you know, the school systems. What do you guys think about that? And I personally know a lot of people who are homeschooling, and I think it's interesting that there could actually be legislation, not for homeschooling, but legislation to go into the schools to make some changes as a parent.
Yeah. What do you think, mother of four?
I know, right?
Yeah, okay. Mother of four, former teacher, about 11 years in the school system. I know that most schools already have things that were set up, like active parent-teacher associations, encourage actively parents to come in. I know I would encourage parents all the time, come in, sit in the class. Come, you have open reign just to come, please be a part. A lot of parents didn't always take advantage of that. And I feel, as also a parent, that the biggest way to have an impact on your child and your teacher, because not all teachers are excellently accountable on their own. Let's be honest, some might actually need a little bit of assistance to be accountable. But having a parent that you know will be present and hold you accountable, that's definitely something that is that's a very powerful thing. It holds good teachers, you know, at a good standard, but teachers who weren't always excellent teachers, it put that accountability on them. The only problem that I really see with parents taking over the schools is that because if you're a parent, you're not necessarily going to be privy to every single dynamic that's going on. So we as parents can sometimes become very, I don't want to say rational, but I have seen some irrational people.
Because you become wrapped up in your kid, it's emotional, and you're
exactly versus not necessarily having enough background to make a whole policy change in school, and you don't want to build things off of emotionalism. Well, and we do hire people that we want to hold them accountable to do their job without we're just going to come in and I don't care about what was going on. I don't need to know about this. All I know is we want this done like this, but not understanding the legal things that may be going on. The things within the city or the superintendent, you know,
or even
there's
just
a
the
lot.
basic behind the scenes things. 'Cause, you know, as a parent, is what you choose to know, what you're putting yourself out there to know, and what your kid tells you. And so, you know, like I think it's also a matter of what.
I see two really distinct disadvantages to it off the top of my head. Number one, parents are assuming that each and every parent is responsible for their kids. As you were saying, a parent's responsibility to their children in the educational system is really powerful, and that's missing. That's missing on a broad scale. It's missing.
Are very involved.
Right. And some people are very, very involved with their kids, and those are the kids that are probably going to do better, regardless if their teacher is not, you know, performing.
Right.
So the second one is the unions. It's you know, collective bargaining and teachers unions. We're in an era where there's a lot of union busting, and I know that unions have a problem. They also have a place, and that's the really tough thing for me. So if you're going, so if you're a parent or a group of parents and you want to go in and completely modify your school because it's underperforming, you want to choose the teachers, or you want to oust the teachers, or choose the school board. Well, they already do because they vote them in, or you know, completely just blow it up. Who says that you're going to do better?
Well, and let me add this too. I'm very, very strong for grassroots. Although as a mother of four and a teacher at the time, I was not that parent that was actually going into my children's classroom. So I wasn't really very, very visible to hold my teachers accountable. But at the same time, we invested in our kids.
Right.
But as far as just going in and making these broad changes, I'm a full advocate for parents. I'm a full advocate for teachers, especially good teachers who need to be rewarded. But then when you get into the terms of what is, what is high performing, sometimes parents, sometimes the society does expect for teachers to literally work miracles. And all the things that we
absolutely, because their homes are so broken.
And we are, educators, and we're holding them accountable.
Teachers need to be paid more. When
they do.
You know, when you are rewarded for the work that you're doing and it's seen as value, you tend to put a little bit more effort into
awesome
it.
teachers.
And then I really think it really breaks down to separate but equal education. I think a lot of these kids, I know, I'm sorry, but it's like the separate, when it was, the school in California, it's on the edge of the Mojave Desert. I can't remember, but it's mostly Black and Latino. So these are the underperforming schools, and I'm not saying that white students don't go to underperforming schools, but a lot of white kids are able, not all, I don't want to make a broad sweeping thing, but to be able to go to have private schooling or homeschooling, but it's kind of a different segment of the population that's left to poor performing schools. So,
well, I'm all about empowering people to listen. Let's be positive, do what we need to do, and
that's not. I wasn't doing a blame thing. It was just a matter of. It's really interesting to me when I was looking at the cases that it tends to be low performing schools are in low and high poverty districts.
Right,
for the most
and in
part.
this situation, it's important for parents to jump in and to have an important role.
Absolutely.
Now, what's happening on another spectrum is parents aren't jumping in as much as they should because millennial children, which 91 to 2004, if you're born between 1991 and 2004, you're considered.
I just made it. I was 92.
But parents aren't jumping in and pushing their kids to do something, get a job, go to college, do something.
But isn't that like almost like isn't that almost the line? It's kind of like, okay, you're not involved with your kids' education.
Right.
It's lax. It's
that hands-off. Where
it's
like
not
involved.
I'm the student's best friend.
Right.
Being their parent.
I'm the kid's best friend. So it's like you're not involved in their schooling. You're letting them live these lives that you're not really a part of, and then they go out into the world. Then they come back.
And they want to stay home and
they want to stay home
in their underwear.
Exactly.
That's not going to happen.
That would be really rocking. However, so I think it's like that hands-off parenting is really. It's just I think it's the culmination of of a generation
Right.
of parenting that's
and I
not
think it's
so
also
great.
coupled with the issues with the economy. It's hard
Yes.
to find a job.
It is.
And I think what's happening is that parents are, oh, honey, I know it's hard to find a job.
No.
It's hard out there.
No, you know what you
stay
do?
home and I'll make you hot chocolate.
No, I'm not making you hot
Instead
chocolate.
Of, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but more
Like,
than
not
likely,
really-
more than likely
pushing.
that parent didn't stay home and make hot chocolate.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's kind of
Right.
like, when they were putting that kid through school.
They were having 3 jobs.
Yeah,
doing what they
exactly,
needed to do.
exactly.
And, oh, I'm going to have my children do better, have it
Yeah.
better like that. But you know what? Encourage your child to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying go to get a paper
No,
route at
no.
25, but you can
Maybe at 5.
Right.
Maybe
but
at 5.
Do something.
take those
something.
technological skills. Be a blogger. Do something.
Yeah.
Right,
You know,
yeah, so-
you're not just sitting around doing nothing, eating hot chocolate.
So give
Drinking
your,
hot chocolate.
if you have any kids at home right
Get
now while
out.
you're watching this and they're on the couch, give them a swift little kick out
Make
the
them
door.
read.
Yeah,
Make them
yeah.
read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. We are here with the lovely Miss Dee Ferrero, better known as Mama D.
Mama D. Mama
Dee
D.
is here to, we have a huge thing coming up with the paper. We get super excited about this every year. It's the top 25 women to watch. It's going to be the second year that we're doing 25 women. So it's a big thing, and we hope that you will definitely take a part of it and come to our dinner that we have in the fall. But we are doing the ballot in our next issue.
That's right, we are.
Yeah.
And I just came on because I want to talk a little bit about what's happening with this. This was a terrific event last year. We had great success with it. And we want to let you know that in the next issue, coming out on July 6th, the ballot for the top 25 women to watch in Western Mass will be in there. And I'm just going to give you a sampling of some of the categories that you can vote someone that you know in a particular area of professionalism into. There's advertising, banking, educator, new home-based business. That's a new category for us. If you have a home-based business and you deal with retail or direct sales, that's a great
So
area.
that's all the Mary Kay, Avon,
Yes.
coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
We also have new entrepreneur. If you've been in business at least a year and you started your own business, that's a great one. And another new category is creative arts. We had broken it down last year. We had photographer and artist and whatever. This year we're actually doing creative arts, which is inclusive of artisans. Never get that right. Painter, photographers, anything along that line. And culinary professionals, that's another great one. And of course we have the basics, the medical field, nursing, public relations, radio, television, travel, etc. Now, these 25 women, okay, will be featured on the cover of the September-October issue. And also their bios will be in the issue, as we did last year. And then on October 11th, we're going to celebrate and honor these women at Chez Joseph with a dinner and an award ceremony. And last year we had so much fun at it. It was
did.
really
We had a
great.
good time.
Yeah. This year we have a couple of different twists we're going to be doing for that. We're looking for sponsors. We'd like to have some people come in that would like to sponsor it. If you have a business or you're a bank or college or whatever that supports women in business, it would be perfect for you. And you can call our office at 413-888-4019 and we can give you the information on how to do that. And we're also looking for vendors. We're looking for vendors for women's type things, scarves, handbags, jewelry, cosmetics, whatever, to purchase a table. And we're also looking for silent auction donations, which we did last year. Now, all the money that we raise for this in net profit goes to the Women in Business Scholarship Fund, where we give 2 scholarships and hopefully more to a deserving woman in the Western Massachusetts area. We're looking for items to go on the silent auction that have a higher upscale value. And if you carry something like that in your store or shop or a service, then we'd love to hear from you, to help out.
And gift certificates and things like
Gift
that. Gift
certificates are great. Yeah, restaurant gift certificates. We do very well with that one. And we're also going to be honoring the scholarship winner for this year at the dinner itself at Chez Joseph on October 11th. So it's exciting, you know. This is the second year we've done it. Last year, like I said, it was very successful, so we're really looking forward to it. So make sure you look for your ballot in the next issue. And if you don't get a copy of the issue, you can go online. It's going to be online too on our website. And I think we can get it on Facebook too, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can do that on our IMO page on Facebook too.
So like us while you're there.
Yeah, like us while you're there. We need more likes.
So that's going to be in our July-August issue. You will find the ballot. Yep. And our current issue, which is currently on newsstands, is the issue with all of us on it.
Yeah.
And also talks a lot about the farmers markets, which are been popping up this time of season. Our next issue, July 6th, we are going to be talking about arts and what's happening in the community. And there will be a beautiful cover, from what I understand, which will leave us a little bit of a surprise.
I do declare.
So that's the July-August issue, so definitely take a look for that. Also, when you go to nominate someone for the top 25 women to watch, first of all, please nominate someone. And when you go to do that, if there's a category that you don't see that you think would be a good category, let us know, because we're still trying to figure this out and make it as great as we possibly can. And next year might be able to include that category. So definitely let us know. So summer movies coming up.
Yeah.
Anything you guys are looking forward to seeing?
Well, okay, I've seen, and I wasn't really like a huge movie person going out to the movie theater because I'm thrifty, but I did see Avengers, which was really kind of cool. And Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh,
that was an interesting twist. It made me want to go back and reread in depth Snow White.
Really?
Now, do you watch, or did you watch Once Upon a Time?
I did.
I did not.
Oh
I was an avid watcher.
Me too. That was me and my son. That was our thing.
Yeah, me
Monday
too.
Night.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday night. Yeah. So it's the same. You should, when it comes back on, if you liked Snow White and the Huntsman, which I haven't seen, you'll probably like Once Upon a Time. It's a twist on story.
It's amazing. Whoever created that and the way they put it together was just awesome.
Yeah.
You know, because they keep varying from modern day to fairy tale land. You know, so it's really great.
And it gives you answers to questions that
gosh,
you didn't even know you had.
I don't even think I even read Snow White as a kid.
No,
I don't think I did.
I remember the Walt Disney.
I saw the movie.
I saw the movie, and I'll tell you, the original movie that was back in 1950, whatever it was, my mother took me to see, I think I was like 5 or 6 years old, at the Capitol Theater in downtown Springfield. I'll never forget it. I was so scared. When that face came in that mirror, man, I was ready to run out of the theater, you know, that was it. It scared me to death. I still remember it to this day.
Clearly had a little impact on you.
Oh, yeah.
The only movie I wanted to see this summer, which probably is not still there because I'm such a cheese ball, I won't go see it until it's on DVD, is Dark Shadows, because I was such a fan when I was a kid of the original show, and my grandmother used to watch it when I come home, and she would be sewing and watching Dark Shadows, and my mom was into it because we like horror stuff, even as a child. I wanted to see that, but my understanding is they turned it in kind of like, it was a parody kind of. It didn't have that same kind of. I love Johnny Depp, but it was Tim Burton as well.
That's the thing, Tim Burton.
But there was a particular kind of pathos and kind of gloomy seriousness to the soap opera that was only on for like 5 or 6 years.
And
but the movie,
they always do that in one take.
Yeah, they did. It was awesome. It was horrible.
The actual original.
It was
soap opera.
Oh my God! Yes, it was a TV soap opera that was supernatural. It was fused with supernatural elements. Yeah, it was a vampire. It was awesome. It was great. It was great.
Speaking of actually, Prometheus is another one that's out right now, and I give so much credit to an actor and actress that is in 2 major films at the same time.
In that though?
He is.
Oh, that's your man.
Oh, yes, so that.
Wow.
Whose man is that?
I know. Charlize Theron.
His accent.
Yeah.
She is.
I love her.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron. I'm
She
not
is
really
in
a big fan.
Prometheus, and then she's also she plays
Snow
the
White.
Wicked Witch.
Oh, okay. See, I'm looking forward to seeing Sparkle. That's the one I want to see, but I don't think that comes out to the end of August.
That's with, I had asked if that was Mariah Carey, but that was Glitter, right?
It's a remake of the movie.
Glitter, Sparkle.
Sparkle, I know, shiny. I love shiny things. Yeah, so it should be good. Whitney Houston's last performance, right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see that. So we hope you get out to see some good movies this summer, and please
tell us about them.
Yeah, come to our Facebook page on IMO. Tell us about it. We are all on the website, on the Facebook page.
Don't forget to like us.
communicate back and forth. Yeah, I think you have to actually like us first before you can communicate with us,
Sure.
right? Yeah.
You must like
Who
us.
doesn't like us?
Yeah.
I know, come on.
Yeah, really. Come now.
Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.